Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast.
Hey guys, today we have a question, and I'm specifically just going to be asking Dan this question to see his reaction. And the question that we are going to be talking about today is Dan, do you think that you should be friends with your closest competitors?
Okay, could you elaborate on the closest competitors part? What do you mean exactly by closest competitors?
By closest competitors, I pretty much mean like everyone's been in a situation where you're maybe switching placements with another couple, or you're kind of close to a couple and their placements or their achievements, and you have like this one couple, it's your goal to beat them, place ahead of them, something like that. And you're kind of like maybe always feeling like you're just behind them, as in that would be like a close competitor, somebody that you're always basically in close placement with, but naturally, of course, everybody wants to be at the top eventually.
Okay, I understand. I I think yes, you should. Definitely makes the whole competition more fun. If you've seen those funny clips from competitions where I don't know, just two couples just start genuinely just playing around on the floor like they're kids, it's always fun to watch. Um, I would assume that they're like friends with each other and they are close competitors. As we all know, the famous Alexei Silde and Andrei Gushev uh, clip where they just start dancing jive together at the end of the competition. Always fun to watch. But all in all, yes, I think you should.
Okay,
It makes
are what are your reasons um to prove, not to prove, but like
my
why do you
reasons
think it's a good idea? Besides
because
having fun on the floor, I feel like there needs to be a better reason.
unless you want to be a backstabber, you know what they're working on and what they have to improve. I'm not promoting that behavior, but uh, um, it just basically it helps you. You're more comfortable on the floor with them, and then there's not that rivalry anymore. It's more of like,
Is that true? Can you really
um,
say that there's not a rivalry anymore?
oh no,
Because
no,
I
there
think it
is. It
feeds
builds
the
even
rivalry.
stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It
makes
it
it
builds
stronger.
you thing is you will positively push each other instead of negatively. So instead of oh my god, I need to beat that goddamn couple, it's like
Yeah, no swearing.
it's fine. It's okay. But yeah, it's better positive than negative. Because
Okay.
if it's like a negative, it's like oh my god, I gotta beat them. Their dancing is horrible, and you start talking negative things about them, it's gonna build your mindset negatively. But if it's positive, it's all even though it's fairly serious, competitions themselves, it's basic, it turns into fun and games,
Hmm.
and it's just mentally easier on both of you, unless it's like a fake friendship. If it's a fake friendship, then the tension will just build even more. So
Then
you'd definitely avoid fake friendships. Then just stay
yeah.
people that you just know. You just know each other. You're not friends. You don't communicate. Um, but overall, yes, I still think I'm still for being friends with your close competitors, even if they're not close, even with people who are way better than you. Because if you have a friend who's way better than you, they will motivate you to get better, in my opinion. How about you, Ricky? What is your stance on this?
I mean, I definitely think that the situation can go both ways, that it can definitely be beneficial, that you have that opportunity to be friends with your close competitors and have that good experience with them and make it less like, oh my gosh, that random couple, I hate them so much. because I can't beat them, which I'm sure we probably all felt that before. And it's a lot easier to feel that when you don't know them personally and they're just kind of like this ghost couple that you're always competing against, that you don't know them, who they are, what they're like. But I have to say, for the majority of my dancing career, I have wanted to be friends with anybody and everybody, whether they were my competitors or not, whether they were beating me or I was beating them. Pretty much, I feel like I'm a pretty friendly person, and also I don't like
Negative emotions
I
and
don't really yeah,
energy.
I don't really like negative emotions, and honestly, most of the time, if I don't know my competitors, it's just because I'm probably scared to talk to them because I don't know them. But, like, any competitors literally ever that I've actually talked to, whether they're my close friend, whether they're, like, kind of my friend, or whether they're not really my friend, I've just talked to them before, I've always had a good experience. Like, I've never had, like, actual any mean competitors.
Yes, if you look at a ballroom dancer, just a strictly ballroom dancer, usually they look very, very mean. Um, and for some reason, some Latin dancers, actually most Latin dancers, look very, very social.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just my experience. Maybe some people have completely different experiences. But once you get to know the person, once they like open up from their, so for example, standard dancers, when they look mean, they're disciplined and everything. If you watch a ballroom dancer practice and warm up at a competition, it's terrifying.
I have to say, definitely ballroom dancers, like strictly standard couples, especially if they're high level, it's very intimidating, even to me. And
Yes.
I'm a standard dancer and I literally know what's going through their head. And I'm just like, whoa, they're scary, even though they're probably
Yes.
not literally at all.
Yes. But you said there's both sides to it. What do you think is the negative side?
I think the negative side is something that I haven't fully come to realize until recently,
Okay.
which I think I was trying to ignore that part because I like to see all the love and the light in the world, and that everyone is happy all the time. But I do think that there is this part where if you are so close to competitors that you're constantly competing with, nobody on here has a pure soul. We're all humans, we all make mistakes, and it's not a nice thing to think about, but people have motives. People have motives that they do not always show. And if you look at the situation, everybody going to that competition is there to show their placement, is there to win. You're never going to walk into a competition and have your competitor say, yeah, I don't really want to beat them today. Like, you
Yeah.
can go ahead and win.
It's something that no one ever said.
No one ever said that before. Every time you show up to a competition, you and every other competitor is there to place the absolute best that you can, or else you wouldn't show up in the first place. So, because of that, it doesn't matter how close you are with that friend, they're always going to want to beat you, and you're always going to want to beat them. And I think that, in and of itself, can kind of slightly sabotage that very, very close friendship, which is why I wanted to ignore it for so long, for so many years. I was like, I can be best friends with all my competitors and everything will be happy and dandy. But even me, I've never even really had a bad experience, but only now I'm opening my eyes to the fact that the motive to win and to beat you will always be there, and that will always come first than being a supportive and kind friend. And even if you're going out for lunch or going out for a dinner on the competition, they're going to be asking you questions. How did you feel today? How was the floor? How are your rounds going? How was your traveling? Not like they're purposely trying to get inside of your head. And this could also be taking place before the competition as well. I've had competitors of mine try to psych me out before. And I'm very gullible and I don't think about that at all. So I just open my mouth. I'm thinking that they're my friend and that everything is fine. And it's only later in life that I realize, sure, they're very friendly, but there was definitely something else there. Why they were talking to me in the first place, why they were trying to be my friend, why this, why that. And I don't want to say I'm jaded about it. Like, I'm definitely not jaded on it at all about the situation, but like, I do understand that there is other reasons that are maybe not the most positive in the world when you do have kind of that friendship with a close competitor. And that's why I wanted to kind of mention it today, because I don't feel like we talk about this ever. Like, you don't go to a competition and be like, hey, why are you being my friend? And hey, what about this? And like, do you actually care if you're beating me? And like, because like no one wants to talk
Yeah.
about that. But I think it is important to mention, because I think there's a lot of dancers like me that only want to see the good part and just be like, yeah, we can be friends with everybody and nothing will ever happen. And I think that me, being a very naive person, I have been like that for many years. And only now I'm realizing that, and kind of wanted to share my perspective on that to see if anyone else feels that way.
Well, let's end on this very emotional and philosophical note. But thank you for the very interesting question, Ricky. I enjoyed it. I am sure the viewers have enjoyed it as well. Let us know what you think. What is your stance on should you be friends with your close competitors? Not close friends with your competitors, friends with your close competitors.
Not to get the two mixed up.
Yes. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening. See you guys next time.
Bye, guys.